Gene, Allison, good morning.
AJ, you're just jumping in, huh?
He's anxious to get on today. What have you had? Hot weather for us or something? What's going on?
I'm ready to go. Excited. I'm alive after the incredible Northern Lights we had last night. So
that was pretty cool, huh? I didn't see it in person.
Yeah, it was very faint, so it's difficult to see with your eye. But I mean, if you use like a phone camera or something like that, the colors really pop. So it was cool to get it down here.
So hold on. So what's the point if you have to use a cell phone to see what everybody's talking about? In other words, if you look up, you may not notice it.
If you look up, you may not notice it, especially if you're hard at sight a little bit. But of course, the closer and closer you get, the further north you get. And away from city lights, those colors do become a lot brighter. So I was in downtown Providence. It was nothing going to be too spectacular there. But we had some photos, people in remote areas such as Block Island, where the stars are really good, or places like Northern Rhode Island. You can see a lot of the colors. So we try to encourage people to get away from the city lights to see some of the best stuff.
Allison, go to North Providence. See them better over there without the glare of Mineral Spring Avenue. All right.
Exactly.
Well, since you're here, AJ, you want to give us the forecast?
Yeah, we'll hop right into it. Gene, Allison, definitely cold temperatures to start off for this morning. We've even seen a little bit of some snowflakes depending on where you're located. We actually have a bit of a rain snow line setting up just north of 95. I went outside not too long ago here in Cranston. Did see a few light raindrops coming on down. A lot of cloud cover expected for today as well. Some more flakes flying west of the Providence area, get a little elevation out towards 295. Some of the good places to see the Northern Lights last night. We're dealing with lots in the way of the clouds, some flurries. This should only be for the next hour or two. And then as we continue for the afternoon, just remaining mostly cloudy all in all. Now let's take a look at the wind chill forecast for today. Not going to be quite as brutal yesterday where we saw wind chills 25 to 30 degrees. Today, more like the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Still blustery conditions all in all. That southwest wind between 10 and 25 miles per hour, becoming more westerly and decreasing in intensity as we continue for tonight. Now, in terms of the Northern Lights, of course, yesterday evening, quite the show. This evening, though, the Space Weather Prediction Center still forecasting a decent aurora. Now, the current forecast between 7 and 10 p.m. tonight is for a KP index of 6. You got to think, the higher the index, the further south these lights can essentially travel. Last night, we got all the way to an 8.67. So they're clearly visible to the naked eye all the way down through Virginia. Even places down in Florida were able to pick them up on some of the best cameras they had down there. 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., we can see that KP index will be going down slightly through the overnight. But as unpredictable as this is, yesterday evening show was not expected to be as widespread and as intense as it was. So here's hoping maybe this is an overachiever. We could be talking about those KP indexes perhaps getting up to a 7 or 8, which would make some of those northern lights a little bit more visible. However, it could also be a little bit lower where we wouldn't be able to see the northern lights down here all in all. We also need weather to play our part too. So as we continue towards 8 p.m. this evening, not quite as much in the way of cloud cover as what we have for the afternoon of today, but we do expect to see still quite a bit in the way of some mostly cloudy skies. Heading for the overnight, that's really when we start to clear on out, mostly clear conditions by 1:30. Heading into the overnight too, those temperatures will be falling down into the 30s across the region. Still a little bit of some wind, but not quite as bad as what we have been seeing. Now, next 3 days, unfortunately, not seeing temperatures really going anywhere. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in the upper mid 40s, all in all, a little bit milder as we head for tomorrow under that partly cloudy sky. Then as we head for the weekend, Saturday, nice sunshine. We got a few rain showers to track as we head for our Sunday morning. Gene and Allison.
Yeah, that was a lot of information, AJ. Okay.
I know. I was losing my breath a little bit too. I think I was so ecstatic to get on here. I just lost my breath pretty quick.
I have to tell you, I appreciate what you're saying though when it comes to light pollution, because whenever we go up to Vermont, it's like, oh my gosh, stars, gorgeous. You can really see them up there, and you really don't get that down here. So yeah.
Allison, as you know, the best aurora is the Aurora Club.
Of course.
Broadway
I just got my bill, Gene. I just got my bill as we speak. Here she is.
All right. Thanks, AJ.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, Alison, what shall we chat about today? What have you got?
Well, let's put Chef Terranova, speaking of Aurora, quick happy birthday. We saw him at Aurora Club, a month ago or so, but it's his birthday today. So we celebrated for him quickly.
Yep.
And he will tell you some of the best food he's had recently. So shout out to the Aurora Club and University Club. He's still hands down best around.
I just spoke to him 10 minutes ago because he's coming on the radio tomorrow to talk about Italian pasta. You know, the Italians are threatening to cut us off from the good imported stuff because they don't want to pay the tariffs. So we'll see. Is that as good, or is Ronzoni and Prince, the stuff we make here, as good as the Italian stuff? Or are we buying just into the name and the brand and the hype? So
I was just going to say, Gene, Today is Wednesday.
Wednesday is
You
Prince
said
Spaghetti
it's Prince
Day.
Spaghetti Day, right?
Anthony. Remember? Oh, by the way, a funny little story. Do you remember that commercial, Alison? What? Maybe
Yes.
commercial. Anthony. Right? You know, on the radio about 15 years ago, we tracked down Anthony Martignetti. He passed away, but we tracked him down, and he came on the radio, and he was so happy that we remembered the commercial, and he came on. He became a court sheriff in Massachusetts. He worked in the courtrooms after he had his brush with fame in the Anthony commercial. Anthony Martignetti, still
If
remember.
only people knew
Wow.
when they were going into court for good or bad.
That was the real Anthony Martignetti.
Oh, wow. Yeah, would you go to pasta is like my favorite food. Obviously, last name Bologna, but I don't know if I would go to the lengths of making it myself. My husband was doing that for a while. It was good, but it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah, I'll ask Frank about that. Tune in tomorrow on the radio. We'll talk about Italian pasta. Why does everybody say, oh, the pasta in Italy is better? It doesn't fill you up. It's more natural. We'll go over all of that tomorrow on the radio.
All right, that sounds great. All right, in the meantime, of course, the news of the day is the government shutdown. It's supposed to be opening up soon. Yeah. Back and forth with the SNAP benefits. What did you cover on the radio? Were people calling in about it?
We got some text. You know, the story's been going on a long time. People want something else to talk about. But there's a vote today on the House side, 7:30 actually tonight. We thought it was going to be 4 p.m., but it's going to be around 7:30. That'll be the final vote. Reopen the government. It's not like flipping a switch. It's going to take a while to get the SNAP cards reloaded. It's going to take a while to get the air traffic controllers back where they need to be. But at least we're going in the right direction. And the Democrats can scream and yell as to whether or not it was the right thing to do. In the meantime, the vote is today. They have the votes. The government reopens 7:30 tonight.
That's right. I got to tell you, I booked a plane ticket. We're going to Paris in a couple of weeks. And I was kind of holding off on because I knew I could get that back if I had to. It was refundable. Yeah. And we're still a month out, but who knew where it was going? But I did hold off on hotels and everything. A lot of people lost a lot of money with non-refundable deposits. So that's good to know it's coming back. Gosh, the transportation secretary over the last 24 hours, he was pretty direct, pretty angry. Yep. And he said, don't expect it to just get fixed like that, even with the government opening tonight, tomorrow. So
and then you have the president stirring things up. He said the air traffic controllers who weren't being paid, who didn't come into work, they ought to be punished. They said, you should quit now. And those who did come in, even without being paid, he called them patriots, and he wants to give them a $10,000 bonus. So that story continues.
Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts about that. But we do have a quick soundbite. This was kind of the soundbite from overnight from Massachusetts Congressman Jim McGovern. So let's listen to this.
8 weeks. Speaker Johnson let you all stay home while Americans miss paychecks, skip meals, and watch their costs explode. Republicans quiet quit their jobs. They disappeared.
Well, I guess on the Senate,
hear from him much.
Yeah, no, you don't. On the Senate side, I guess someone would say they took 14 votes, and the Democrats in the Senate refused to open it 14 different times. 8 of them broke through the line. Those are the ones who made the difference, and this is where we are today. But that's Congressman McGovern. He's been in a long time. It's a safe seat. Safe seat. He's a liberal Democrat, and he speaks his mind. We've had him on 10 News Conference. We're due to have him on again at some point.
Yeah. All right. So we'll keep following that. Hopefully some things shift and move. I work with the SBA on certain stuff, and it's been like everything's been on hold because of this. So selfishly, like everybody has some stake in the game, right? I suppose you could say.
Yeah. Just back to you getting on, what frightens me? I'm not the best flyer, but the notion of pulling away from the gate and then having to sit there on a plane for an extended period of time. That's tough. That's tough to do. I'd rather be flying than sitting on the tarmac waiting.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flying isn't really fun anymore unless you're flying first class, and it's just gotten so expensive. So it doesn't really happen that often. But people need to get to and from. But the transportation secretary was also mentioning he doesn't even know if it's going to be up and running to capacity like it should be come Thanksgiving.
I understand today they're due to cut back 8%. We started at 4 on Friday. Now we're going to 8% and the 10%. Even with the reopening, it's still going to 8% today.
Yeah. So we got to keep an eye on that. It really does affect everybody. All right, Rob Gronkowski. You and I are not into sports, fair to say, for the most part, unless it bleeds into a news story in some way, shape, or form. Although I love soccer, but this is kind of interesting. He's back today. He's going to be a Patriot, back to being a Patriot for a day, so that he can officially retire. And I didn't know this part of the story until this morning, that he's doing it in memory of a friend, and this was his friend's wish before his friend passed. So look, Gronk continues to be a fan favorite. I think he's fun, he's feisty. Patriots, Tampa Bay, back up here again, and he claims this is really home for him in some way, shape, or form. Always.
Yeah, he's become a pretty decent broadcaster, and he wanted to retire a Patriot. And I think over the weekend he was on the same panel with Tom Brady. He told Brady, "You should do it too. Sign the one-day contract and retire as a Patriot." So Gronkowski does that today.
A lot of fun. Yeah,
on paper, it's paper only.
Paper only.
Yeah.
So this has been a rumor for a long period of time. So in my neighborhood, which you've been to before, Eastside Marketplace, of course, was owned by Stop and Shop. It was originally an independent, then Stop and Shop brought them on, but it never went under that branding, and then it went under. It was one of the many closures through Stop and Shop. So I shop in the little Whole Foods over on Pittman, and they've been talking about it. But now we have the filings from City Hall that says, yes, they're going to take over Eastside Marketplace. So that's quite a few Whole Foods actually in a state our size. We've got Cranston, North Main Street in Providence, and now this will probably double in size when this moves over. I have to say, though, I like the small, cozy Whole Foods where everything's right there, but it's been so taken over by all the Instacart shoppers. So maybe bigger is better in this case. We'll see.
Well, I guess the rumor is that, well, no, we know they're going in there.
Filing,
right? But are they going to close the other little one and just consolidate everything over there? Now, if you're a regular shopper there, they call them whole paycheck, Whole Foods, because it's so expensive. I mean, the quality is there. People like the experience. They're willing to pay for it. Is it? Can some stuff be outrageous to support the whole paycheck?
Yes, and
moniker?
I know that from the back end of selling to Whole Foods.
Okay.
Side thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mark it up quite a bit. But I will say it is a beautiful experience. The produce is great. Like, you can't get produce at Trader Joe's like you can at Whole Foods. So it just depends on where you are, how big your household is, and how important that is, the quality of the food it is that you want to put on your table. But yeah, whole paycheck. I know a lot of people say that. The Cranston Whole Foods is really beautiful. That's where Mario goes.
Well,
so I'm hoping this one rivals it.
Yeah, Frank Terranova swears by their meat. He goes there. So he swears.
They have very high standards for how they get the meat and who can go. Actually, I heard a rumor way back. I don't know if you met Davide, right? He was one of the owners of Daniele. Is
that the father? Is that the father or the son?
Son and Stefano.
Okay.
I haven't seen them in quite some time. They sold the company and everything, but they were telling us how strict it was to get into Whole Foods. And I don't think they ever sold in Whole Foods. So it was interesting listening to his stories from the back end about like dealing with like a market basket.
Yeah.
Lisa was incredible to work with. Amazing retailers, merchants, if you will, Greek merchants, and Whole Foods was like impossible when it came to certain standards.
Unfortunately, Market Basket is in the news these days for all the wrong reasons.
I know.
The fight with the brother, they've got rid of the brother, and on and on and on. It's a shame because it's recognized as one of the best run supermarket chains.
Best prices around. So
people love it.
Whole Foods and the Market Basket. Now, my husband, as you know, loves to cook. He wakes up thinking about what he's going to make for dinner. Like that, he is motivated by this. He loves Market Basket as much as he loves Whole Foods.
Yeah.
So you go to each for different things, I suppose. But a 20-year lease. And I guess there was an agreement from the landlords that they won't put any competing food service market in anywhere near it as well. And then you've got bottles right next door. So, this is another weird thing. New England, Vermont, though, you can buy wine in the grocery store. You can't do that here, but at least it's right next door.
We have a very strong liquor lobby in this state that keeps control over stuff like that, of importing certain wine, having it mailed to your house. None of that stuff flies over here. Yeah.
Have you been in Fall River to Portugalia Marketplace?
Is that on the street over there with all the restaurants?
No.
I don't think I've been to that one. I was recently out there about a month ago. I did go to a Portuguese supermarket, and I bought some Portuguese brandy.
This is beautiful. You would have remembered.
Yeah. No, there wasn't that one. No.
They have a whole room temperature controlled for the cod,
right?
Dried out cod. They have great wines there too. So put that on your list.
All right, good.
Great spots.
It's called Portugalia.
Portugalia Marketplace. Yeah, I was just there last week. Lots of imported meats. Yeah, it's a real deal.
Speaking of Fall River, there's a recount coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Boomer Amaral, who was the Republican, although they run unaffiliated, Boomer is a Republican, and Mayor Coogan, the Democrat, beat him by about 250 votes. Boomer wants a recount. I don't know if he's going to pick up 250 votes, but it was probably closer than Mayor Coogan thought it would be.
That's what he publicly said. He was surprised it was that close.
I don't know if he was knocked down a peg by the fire, fresh in people's minds, or what it was, but it was very, very close. And he's been very popular out there. This is his fourth. He says final term. I had a spirited debate between him and Boomer. It was quite the thing.
That's good. That's what you want.
No, it was really a referendum on the mayor's record. And if you're in the incumbent, you've been there 3 terms. That's what's going to become a referendum on your record. So.
And no term limits in Fall River, right?
I don't believe so. No,
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, so this came to me through Instagram during the show. So during commercial breaks, I'm always checking when people are sending me messages. Now more days viewers are through Instagram to me than through Facebook. So the roundabouts, how Rhode Islanders love roundabouts. So this is the one, I think Chelsea, our producer, put this in the rundown for us today, Dan. This came through Instagram. This is the new roundabout in Wickford. And on Veterans Day, they dressed up like traffic cones. And some of the store owners, storekeepers were basically saying, it's here. The roundabout's working. We're going to connect with you on Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. Dan, do we have that video?
I didn't see this. This is funny. Yeah.
I can pull it up on my phone if we don't have it.
That thing has been a source
3,
of
4,
controversy.
5, 6, 7, 8. Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Haas and Pepper Incorporated. We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Do it in our way. Nothing's gonna turn us back now. Straight ahead and on the track now. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way. There is nothing we won't try.
All right.
You get the idea.
That's what we do on the radio. Okay.
Yes, that's
enough of that. So that's Laverne and Shirley in Wickford dancing around the new Wickford Rotary. By the way, it was very controversial. There's still people in Wickford didn't want it, never wanted it. Some business owners didn't want it. However, it appears to have turned the tide now that it's in, because I'm getting calls on the radio. We may get more tomorrow on Ask the
Positive or
DOT.
negative?
50-50. But I got a lot of calls lately that people like it. It's working. Now, it's
That's what I
small. It is small, but so is Napoleon. So, I don't know what you want to say here.
This was during the Veterans Parade yesterday. Shopkeepers Julie, I hope I get her last name right, BB of Yes Gallery and Lori Lyons of Beauty and the Bath dancing in the controversial Rotary.
Yeah,
on all the scuttlebutt about the roundabout that we are loving and, quote, works perfectly.
I went through it twice, and I took the big car that we have, a Chevy Traverse. It's fine. It's a Rotary. I mean, this is New England. Nobody likes anything. Nobody likes anything here. We're fighting over a Rotary.
No change.
No change. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's get rid of 95. Go back to the Post Road.
Oh my gosh.
We'll do that to go to New York. How's that?
Yeah, you drive up and down New England. There's roundabouts everywhere, and as Peter Alviti will tell you, they prove, according to him, the statistics show that they're safer because you have to slow down.
That was a weird intersection.
With them.
Do you remember that intersection? That was a weird intersection. If you're coming up the Post Road south, you get to that intersection, you don't know what to do because it was 3 ways. If you want to put a light, that's one thing. The DOT, and by the way, this had the blessing of the town council. The majority of the town council said, "Put it in, we want it," and there was some vocal opposition to it. So they're on record that they don't want it. It's there. You're going to have to live with it. We're not ripping it out. So Wickford. By the way, the last time I criticized Wickford is when they put a dollar store in what's supposed to be a scenic little village where people come to boutiques and restaurants. They put a dollar store in. So
I'm surprised they allowed that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. So the tide is turning, and hopefully it goes in the right direction in Wickford.
Okay. So this story too. Now I have a girlfriend who knits and loves it. Have you seen these iPhone things?
So just did a tease for the 7 o'clock news last night. What is this?
I think it's ridiculous. Your word of the day.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous in Gene language. This is a new way to carry your phone as if you need this. Those are $200, $150, and $230. Short straps to carry your phone.
It looked like a holster under somebody's jacket, and it keeps the phone warm. Is that it? It's insulated. It keeps it warm.
8 colors. For the short strap, 3 for the long one.
They'll sell. You watch. You'll see people buying them. Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. They'll sell.
See, all you need is like a little thing on the back of your phone, and then you can just hook it on stuff, tripod, everything done. Yeah. So anyway, they were sold. Actually, there were actual socks that were sold like this for, remember, the iPods between 2004 2012. So now they're trying to take the pod model, put it on the phone, I guess. Would your daughters buy that?
Well, I can't say no. Every time I say no, they surprise me. So this could
Okay.
be the latest thing down in New York. They all want them, and they'll all come home with them for Thanksgiving. We'll see.
One more thing to carry, as far as I see it.
Yeah. Apple they don't make many mistakes. So
That is
they
true.
usually know what they're doing.
That is true. The colors are good.
Yeah.
But we were joking this morning because it was like our talker. So if we don't have you on around 6:45, we talk around the table about something.
Right.
And I was giving a shout out to my girlfriend Gail because she'll knit that for us for free. Done, handmade, local.
Yeah.
So that's that.
And then Apple will sue her for infringing on the copyright.
Good. Yeah.
They're pretty good at that too, right?
Pretty good at that too. What else? What else did you have on the radio today? I was in and out with the chef in and out of the newsroom.
Well, it was a lot of shutdown stuff, and we talked about Brian Crandall's story on NBC 10 last night.
Okay, I wanted to follow up on that with you. What's your
Yeah.
takeaway on that?
Well, I think it was a mistake on the warden's part, the ACI director. He hired a contractor doing work at the prison to do work on his home. Now, he insists he did nothing wrong. He said, I paid for it. In fact, he said, I paid market rate, or maybe better than market rate. Brian said he wrote the check, and the check date was dated after Brian started asking the questions. So we'll just put that out there.
And they have a history, to be clear, the warden and the union.
Yeah,
the union
want
him.
The union can't stand the warden, so whatever they get on him, they're going to go after him. But that's the business we've chosen here. You know, Richard Ferruccio, the union president, was looking at equipment. Next thing you know, the piece of equipment at the ACI ends up at the warden's house. They call him the ACI director. He's the warden anymore. It's not Shawshank Redemption over here. Ferruccio Redemption, we're calling it. And he spilled the beans, and it became a news story. Now, look, they're legitimate questions. If you're running the prison, is it wise to hire a guy doing work for the state to do work on your home? There's all kinds of the potential for abuse, even though he insists there was no abuse. If he gives you a favor or does something extra for you, does that mean it means he comes back to the prison and gets another 47 buildings to work on? This is why we have an ethics commission.
Right.
Now, but to be clear, Wayne Salisbury said, I did nothing wrong. I did hire them. I paid my bills. He's saying this is a non-story. We'll see. We ought to catch up with the governor today and ask him what he thinks about this. It'd be like the governor hiring the guy doing the floors at the State House to come and do the floors at his house.
And then the question is, like, did the bidding process go through the way it was supposed to, so on and so forth. And I think at the end of the day, it may be legal, but it may not be right. It's that whole idea of like how something is perceived sometimes is just as important.
He said to Brian, well, what he suggested, Rhode Island's a small state. Listen, it is a small state. But believe me, there are plenty of contractors.
There's more than one contractor.
There's more than one contractor, more than one landscaper to cut the grass.
Environmental service he needed, right? Yeah, that's a little tricky, huh? Well,
it is, but I'll tell you this: over at the union, Ferruccio, you're going to have to get up early to beat him. So he has his critics too. You know, some people think he's belly aching a little too much about the prison, but whatever it is, he's the union head. He's been there for a long time, and he's on top of everything.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an issue, you don't have to go find Richard. He finds you. And I can't say that about the ACI. Brian was looking for that director for days, and they stonewalled him. They never made him available, and Brian had to go track him down coming out of his office.
Like, oh, he spoke, but no, it was like it was a fight.
No, we had to go grab him. Not a good look.
Outside when he was coming from work.
Not a good look.
Yeah. I will say, like, if you're going to pay union dues, that union president, he shows up.
He more than shows up.
Yeah.
I had him on the radio last week because he was going after the same guy for allowing unlimited use of phones. The inmates can now make unlimited phone calls with their tablets. I think we spoke about that last week. And they called the radio.
For it, right?
They called the radio station, 3 of them. And we'll say, what is this? I thought they have to line up at a payphone and wait your turn. No, not anymore. They have a tablet. They make unlimited phone calls. Now, the phone calls have a disclaimer before they get on. It says this call is coming from the ACI. They are recorded. But nonetheless, Richard said it's out of control. You can't have unlimited phone calls. They could order for pizza. They could call a direct correctional officer's home. The kid answers, and the kid's going to hand the phone to his father. It's the potential for abuse. So listen, they got.
The issue was in Bristol County, the taxpayers pay for it, but in Rhode Island, the inmates pay for it.
The inmates pay 3 cents a minute on tablets that they're given by a private vendor to buy movies, music, and unlimited phone calls and play games.
Oh, that's a story. Who's that vendor?
I don't know who the vendor is, but the vendor's making money. He makes 3 cents a minute, and when they buy movies and games, they're making money. Now the flip side could be, listen, give them a tablet; it keeps them calm. And somebody said, we used to have fights when it was one payphone on the wall. You'd have fights, people waiting in line. This way eliminates fights. But the point
There's
that the
so many
union,
layers to this.
the point that the union are making is, where's Wayne Salisbury? And by the way, why wasn't Wayne out front again? Richard beat you to that story. Why?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're going to deal with us as reporters, you're better off just facing us and answering the questions, then we go away.
Well, especially if you're
right?
especially if you're a public servant, and it's
Absolutely.
the taxpayer's business.
That's right. And it's our money paying for
Right.
that service. Yeah.
And it's not like they have a shortage of press aides.
18 Wall was great to work with.
Plenty of people.
Yeah. Oh my
Talk.
gosh. That's a whole nother story. But
Yeah.
18 Wall was great to work with. He was
AT Wall. That was a while ago, right?
Oh yeah. He taught
Yeah.
at Yale. Great guy. Yeah. Lots of turnover there.
Well, hold on. You know what? He had his problems with the unions too.
I
There's
don't
not
remember that. See, I came
Yeah.
to Rhode Island when he was like almost out of it.
No. You go back. That comes with the job.
Yeah.
That comes with the job. The union is adversarial, and I'm here 34 years, and I could tell you they've been over there plenty of times with union belly aching about one thing or another at the prison. But the thing you have to say is he delivering the facts?
Right.
Is he right or wrong? And he's ahead of you. They're fast on the draw. We can't say that about the same for the administration. A little slow to the game.
I feel like this director, though, it's like even before he got in, it was just drama.
Well, it was controversial when he got in.
Yeah.
Governor
Definitely.
McKee put him in. We'll have to catch up with the governor, ask him what he thinks today.
Yeah, and he's also supposed to speak today about SNAP benefits, right? Because they're loaded on, then they're going to get pulled back. The Supreme Court said you shouldn't have done that. It's like a mess.
Well, the governor is right to say, I don't know, Dan, if you got the governor. The governor is right to say it's been a confusing mess. It has. The governor, he's blaming the Democrats, the Republicans rather, as he is wont to do. It's all the Trump shutdown. It's the White House gave us miscues and they don't know what they're doing. Listen, we had a federal court judge in Rhode Island who interjected himself into this. Some people say he wasn't his business to do that. Then we involved the Supreme Court. So it would appear that there might be plenty of blame to go around, at least when it comes to confusion.
Mm.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens later today and into the night. So are you traveling anytime soon? Do you have to get on a plane?
No, not till mid-December.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
it'll be all
what I'm going
done by
to.
then.
That's going to be here before you know it, though. That's the
Yeah.
thing. All right. Well, we'll keep our eyes on that for everybody's sake, for sure. All right. That's it for us, unless you have anything else today.
No, Prince Andrew. Well, we don't even call him Prince anymore, right?
No.
You just call him Andrew. He is now to be called Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and they're going to allow him to hyphenate the Mountbatten Windsor. That's the big story out of England. Also out of England, the Prime Minister Keir Starmer, he's on the ropes over there. We could have a change of government.
Yeah.
By the end of the week, and the BBC just underwent a shakeup because they actually screwed up an American story. They screwed up their reporting of January 6th and what Donald Trump actually said and how they presented it. And the boss is out. A bunch of her underlings have left kind of in disgrace. And the president is now thinking of suing the BBC
Like
for
CBS.
$1 billion. And he says, I have a pretty good track record for suing media.
Back to the Royals for a second.
Yeah.
Do you like Eugene Levy?
I know who he is. The actor, right? Yeah.
Schitt's Creek, all those.
Yep.
Hi. So I just started watching on Apple TV, The Reluctant Traveler. It's charming. It's great. And he does this whole bucket list piece and he gets a tour of Windsor one-on-one with Prince William. And it's a different side of Prince William that you hadn't seen before. And he talks a little bit about the stress he has around family. So with everything that's going on with Andrew, the question a lot of people are saying is, is Prince Harry next? We'll see.
Well, I listen. That's that family, boy. It's a good thing it wasn't 500 years ago. They'd be in the Tower of London with their heads lopped
title,
off.
but you're not doing the job. So
Speaking of TV, and I just watched the grand finale of Downton Abbey.
I need to get caught up on that
Make
one.
sure you watch that.
Okay.
Very good. I thought the movies that preceded it weren't that good, but this one is good. They've all remembered how to act again, and it's the same old Downton Abbey, and it's called the grand finale. It's on Peacock, which is NBC
Oh,
streaming.
it's over to Peacock. Okay.
So-
Yes.
So I recommend it. 2 thumbs up.
All right. That sounds good.
Okay.
All right, Dan, it's Wednesday, so we have the morning show. I don't know, I'm not sure if I can watch much more of it. Dan and I are like hanging on, but I don't know. We'll have to see. We need some
Yeah.
good television for sure. We need another Succession is what we need.
Succession was great. How about The Crown? Let's bring The Crown back because there's so much more to talk about.
Every single person who played the queen, wow. And
Yeah.
now, yes, with yes, we have so much more.
They got rid of Andrew, kicked him
Yeah.
out of the house. This is great. Yeah.
Meghan
Let's
Mary, all of it.
make
Yeah,
The Crown again.
so good. Oh, we'll just add that to our list.
All
All of
right.
our free ideas, right, Gene? They just
Yep.
come tumbling out.
Yep.
All right. I have to get out on the road. I have a bunch to do today, and I'll see you at 6.
All right. Thanks. Ciao
Sounds
for
good.
now.
All right.
Okay.
Ciao.